Hello, how are you? This is Edith Newmeyer. And yes, I do want to introduce my book, The Mystery of Adam. Today I'm going to talk a little bit about what's going to be in this book, or what is in this book. But it's really a different topic, but it will kind of discuss some of the things. So I'm going to talk about some more about mass formation psychosis. I started a video and I kept saying mass formation hypnosis. Must have been a Freudian slip. Because, yeah, we are in a hypnosis as well. But really what they're talking about today quite a lot is this mass formation psychosis that we're in. And of course, they're always talking about it in psychological terms. Even a person that has nothing to do with psychology, Dr. Malone, who was the inventor of the mRNA vaccine, is talking about mass formation psychosis. Well, I did a video about 3 weeks ago and didn't have too many views as usual. I think that seems to be the case. I think 100 and something. And, you know, it really should be out there. I was looking on the feed, YouTube feed, and it was way, 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 way down. Not on top where it's supposed to be. That's the way it is. But today I'm going to make another one. In that video, I looked at it, and I also looked at Romans 1:18 through 32. And I tried to get to the bottom of the problem. What is actually going on with this mass formation psychosis, or mass psychosis in short? That's what it is, mass psychosis. Okay? How did we get to a mass psychosis? Well, because this is not just today. But today it's kind of harder to understand because we've been assuming that people are awake and, you know, they know their democracy, their freedom. They know that it's important to have choices. And yet we are thrown into this psychosis, mass psychosis, where people don't want to see reality. That's what psychosis is. Psychosis is where people do not want to see reality. Now, why do they not want to see reality? Okay? What got them to the point where they don't want to see reality? If I don't want to see reality, it's because it's not good. Because reality is depressive. Reality, you know, makes us scared. And yes, I understand that is exactly what we're having today. It's a scary world. But people, the world has always been scared. So why now? Why are people now not used to seeing reality being scared or dangerous? What has happened? You know, we are the land of the brave, home of the free. What happened? What happened? Why do people not want to see reality? My goodness, we have a history of people confronting dangerous and difficult situations. That's what the United States is all about. And people, yes, died, but most of them survived. And they built a better world. And people who died, they died because they were brave, because they sacrificed their lives for the good. And what is going on today? Why are we in a mass psychosis? Why do people not want to see reality? Strange, huh? Well, the problem is that we've been used to this generation, not necessarily my generation, but the generation after mine, my kids' generation, they have only seen good things. Okay? They grew up with lots of wonderful things. They had everything. They really thought everything would be given to them on a silver platter. And almost the whole world thought that way. Democracy, oh my goodness, democracy is giving us everything. Why do you think we have all these people coming into the United States or Europe? Because all want to participate in this paradise people. They all think that, oh my goodness, democracy or capitalism is giving us this paradise of a world. Europe believed the same thing after the Second World War. It only got better and better. And now we're realizing, wait a minute, maybe our world isn't that way. Maybe people are waking up and thinking, hey, what's going on here? We are supposed to live in luxury, and we're supposed to be living, safe and live a long life until, retirement, and then do all kinds of things, travel and blah, blah, blah. And we're realizing, wait a minute, this is not the way it is. But the media has told us that for years and years and years and years. Media has told us what this world is supposed to be like. And then all of a sudden, people freak out. The world is not the way they perceived it all along. We just came through Christmas, people. Christmas is a time that I don't like because people pretend everything is rosy. You see those films about Christmas? They're all about being rosy, peaceful, wonderful. Everybody has food, everybody has this, everybody has that, everybody's doing well. The families are together, friends, okay? That is a world that really doesn't exist, people. Because, no, that's not reality. But on Christmas, we want a fake world. And, people, maybe we want this fake world now all the time. And here comes this boogeyman. Okay? Here comes this boogeyman. Whether it's real or not, people. Now, when I was a little kid, my mother said, she really used the boogeyman. What did she say? She called it in German Nachtkrab. Now, a krab is a raven. So she called the boogeyman the night raven. And the night raven, oh my goodness, we were scared of the night raven coming. So we better were inside when it got dark. Well, that's what we have today, the boogeyman. Is it real or is it something made up? You better check it out and make sure you know. Now you know what I'm talking about, this boogeyman, which everybody is afraid of. Not everybody, but the masses are. I just heard today somebody was telling me people are lining up, and I'm here in Colorado, lining up to get tested for this boogeyman. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. How, now I'm going to say dumb, the masses are, because that's what it is. It's really, that's the only word anybody can use. Can you say blinded, sheeple, whatever? You can use a wonderful word for it, but, bottom line, it's definitely, okay, you can use psychology and use it as psychosis. You can do that. Psychosis when you don't want to see reality. And you make up your own fantasy world, really, what you're doing. Because you don't know how to deal with depression, anxiety, and whatever is here. Why? Because you were pampered. Snowflake, hello? Because we have snowflakes today. Not like our pioneers that went west. No, we have snowflakes. These snowflakes would have stayed home and the West would have who knows what. But that's what we have today. Mass psychosis. Because people don't want to face reality. Because they have been pampered and pampered and pampered. They don't want to see how the world is. My son is the same way. He has not, and he's in his 40s, and he still doesn't know how reality really functions, or how reality is. Now, why is it that way? Because, see, the media, for now, since the 70s, since after the Second World War, has created this perfect, kind of almost perfect world. But this world that flowed with milk and honey. And maybe now people are waking up and realizing, wait a minute, this is really not a world that flows with milk and honey. We got so many things going on. And of course, somebody is here that's stirring this whole pot. Okay? The media that are stirring this anxiety and fear-mongering. And so people can't handle it anymore. So now they're in a mass psychosis. And they're blinded. They're scared, shivering, and blinded. And they'll do anything that somebody says. I just watched this movie called Don't Look Up. You have to see it. Unbelievable. It shows exactly what we're in. The situation we're in. Now, we don't have a meteor hitting us pretty soon. Well, wait a minute. I don't know that. But this is not our major problem, that a meteor is going to hit us within the next 6 months. Okay? But we have plenty of things happening here. But the people don't see it. They just want to have fun, and they want to feel good, and they put themselves like on a level like they're on drugs. You should really watch it, how these people are acting. The regular people. Okay? Oh, I want to have fun. I want to have my senses satisfied. I want to feel good. I want to be part of this excitement. But there's a disaster coming, and I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I'm blocking it out. Disaster. Oh, I'm blocking it out. And the media are supporting it. And the president, she wants to block it out too. Until some of the elite is coming and saying, hey, I can save you. You're just going to have to do what I'm telling you to do. And of course, if you watch the elite person that was coming to take advantage of this meteor, no matter what, even to the detriment of destroying the earth, even the president runs after the elite, the technology, I don't want to call the name because you can actually easily find out who it is. It's a person that is filthy rich, and has the possibility to go into the cosmos. Very easy to figure out who it is. And the president goes along, even though the earth will be destroyed. The scientists are not even heard, they're silenced. And this is exactly what we're having today. Now, in the movie, they had a real threat. People didn't want to see it. Right now, we really don't have a real threat, but people are afraid of it. So that there's a contrast there. It's a little bitty different. But you can actually see how the masses react. Oh no, we don't want to hear about it, until the whole earth is destroyed. Nobody's left over. No, I think one guy was left over. Amazing. You need to see it. But you can actually see this mass psychosis in action. And you can also see something else. That if you have somebody in a psychosis, like masses of people in a psychosis, you can bet that somebody else is going to take advantage of it. It's possible that somebody else even put the masses into a psychosis through hypnosis, okay, on purpose, so they can control them, so they can use them as puppets, as slaves. Very possible. Now the question is, you can talk about it all you want on a psychological level, but you know my channel is about the Bible, and that's what I'm looking at for the answer. What's going on here? One of my subscribers, one of my dear subscribers, I really like him quite a lot, said, why is God allowing Satan to do this to the world? Why? Because Satan is doing it. So Satan knows the masses. He knows exactly how to manipulate them. And absolutely, he's been always manipulating the masses. Since the beginning, because that's all it is. It's mass manipulation. Knowing exactly how to set up the environment so the masses will fall in a mass psychosis. Oh yeah, make it look really nice, wonderful, and then pull the rug out from underneath. That's what happened. Now, Satan knows that, and he did it. Okay? He did that. You can all talk about it and this and that and psychology and whatever, but it's all planned by Lucifer or Satan for a purpose. He started that where? In the Garden of Eden. That's already when it started. Don't be surprised. Of course, people today, they think they live in La La Land or they live in paradise or someplace. No, it's been always tough on this earth. Tough. My son doesn't understand that either. And I think most of that generation doesn't. They don't understand how tough the world is because they had it so good. And this is exactly what happened. I create a good world and then people cannot handle life anymore. They're not used to handling life. So they have to go into psychosis to deal with it or not to deal with it. That's what happened from the beginning. So what did Satan do? Well, he came to Adam and Eve and said, hey, maybe God didn't tell you everything. Maybe this tree of the knowledge of good and evil, you're going to be like God. Okay? That's what he told them. Maybe God didn't tell you the truth. Well, Eve and Adam They thought about it, and they ate of the fruit. Now, I don't know if it was a tree with fruits. It's symbolic. In that garden also there was a tree of life. And that tree of life is definitely symbolic for Jesus. Okay? We live long, we live forever when we take from that tree, from that fruit. Don't know what the fruit is. Don't know. But that's how they symbolized it, because they didn't really know it either at that time. They didn't understand really what happened. You know, Moses, or even time before Moses, they didn't understand. What did really happen? How did this fruit, if it was a fruit, how did it affect their body? And how did it change? How did it change them? Well, first, they had to die. Within one day, and one day with God is 1,000 years. Those first people died. Adam did not make it to 1,000 years, and he died. And they thought probably, oh yeah, we're living for a long time, but eventually time was up. So that was the first thing. He said, you shall surely die. That means your body will break down. First thing. They were also disconnected from God. The disconnection between God and humankind was broken. So really, who is life? Only God. Life only comes from God. When something is broken, then we don't get enough energy, or not the right kind of energy, and that's why we're dying. But something else was changed in the body. I believe the DNA was changed. That's what I believe, because everything is laid down, who you are in the DNA. Who humankind is laid down in the DNA. And we don't even understand everything. Actually, the regular people don't understand very much. The scientists already know quite a lot. And they're working on changing the DNA. It's called CRISPR. They're saying, oh, God didn't create humankind good, so we can change it. We can actually improve humankind by changing their DNA. Isn't that exactly what Adam and Eve thought? They could be like God? God was the one who created humankind. Only God. And now humankind thinks, oh, we still can change humankind to make it better. To make humankind better because the Creator did everything right. The problem is not the Creator. It's the problem is what we did to our body. We took of the fruit. And listen, it wasn't just Adam and Eve. It's all of us who took of the fruit. Every day we're making a decision. Are we going to follow Jesus? Or are we going to want to be like God? And one of the things that we're doing is, of course, changing our body because we can evolve as human beings. We can become better. It is a fact that when they took of the fruit, whatever that was it that? Okay, we don't know. Was it that they popped the pill? What was the fruit of that tree? Something that Satan knew would change humankind, DNA of humankind. And what really changed about humankind? What happened? Well, before God made them equal, both of them, the man and the woman, humankind was equal. They both had to take care of the garden. They were stewards of the garden, both of them together, not just the man, okay? Because God created the male and female as human beings. No, not only the man was human, but the woman was human as well. That's what I'm writing in my book. That's what my book is based on. Now, what happened when they rebelled against God? They didn't know that. They didn't believe that anymore. The man all of a sudden took over. They took the name Adam, which means human being, from the woman and just called her Eve. And for 6,000, well, actually, let's say for 4,000 years. No, it was more. Because when we get to the creek 4,000 years later, they still believed that only the man was a human or is a human being. And the woman is not a human being. Yeah, people, that is true. And then since we really use so much from the Greek philosophers during the Middle Ages, during the classical time, that's what was believed until, I would think, way after the Reformation. Most theologians still thought women were not human beings. People make no mistake, it's the truth. And it's not just the women, but this idea that somebody is better than somebody else also was practiced with men. One man put himself above everybody else. And humankind thought that was okay. Humankind thought that was okay. But it isn't, people. That's not how God made humankind. He made humankind equal. And of course, sin destroyed this equality, this thinking that we are all one. No, now somebody has to be on top, and the other people have to close their eyes and follow. Okay? The masses have to constantly go into psychosis, or can be put in psychosis, which is happening today. It was a gradual process, people. People don't talk about that. Okay? It's a gradual process. Why do people cannot see reality anymore? Because it's so scary and so dangerous. People in the past knew about the danger and they were not afraid. They were brave. Why are people not brave today? Because it was told them that everything is cool, wonderful, paradise. Well, not exactly, but close to it. And so people didn't get raised looking at reality and fighting for things. So here we are, okay? Most of us are in a psychosis, and the other, a few, are taking advantage of this psychosis of the masses and put them back into slavery. Of course, all goes right back to who? The one who started this whole mess in the first place. Satan. And that's because people are interested in following Satan. They want to believe the lies. They want to be in deception. And then God gives them even a stronger delusion. Okay? So because they reject God over and over again and follow their own ideas or even Satan, the Bible says, for this reason God sent them a powerful delusion so that they will believe the lie, and so that all will be condemned who have not believed the truth, but have delighted in wickedness. That is in 2 Thessalonians 2, when Paul talks about the man of sin. I've read that. If you know my videos, I've read that. Because it says here, the coming of the law of his laws one will be in accordance with how Satan works. He will use all sorts of displays of power and through signs and wonders that serve the lie in all the ways that wickedness deceives those who are perishing. They perish because they refuse to love the truth and so be saved. For this reason, God sends them a powerful delusion. That's what happens, people. It's what happens. Yeah. And that's what we are today. People are in very powerful delusions. Not only that, people, but they're closing their eyes. And that's why we have a mass psychosis, because they can't handle reality. Reality is that we were thrown into a horrible world. And we can only overcome this horrible world if we're following Jesus. Matter of fact, only Jesus can change this horrible world, which he will soon do. He will very soon change this horrible world. But before, oh my goodness, people, the wicked people will be destroyed. Now, it's getting dark right now. So I want to come to an end. But look at these things again. Watch this movie, Don't Look Up. And people, we only have one way out. We can pray that Jesus will return soon and that he will destroy this world system and establish his own kingdom. It's the only hope we have out of this whole mess. We need to hang in there. We cannot take this that is changing our bodies even more. And eventually, people, we're not human beings anymore, because that's the goal of Satan. That's what he's working on today very strongly. Okay? He's already started changing it 6,000 years ago in the garden. I just mentioned in one of my videos that I was kind of reading Milton's Paradise Lost. Maybe you need to start that. I really think it is an excellent poem. And it's kind of hard to read because it's Old English. But you should be doing it. Paradise Lost. Satan is talking about why in the world he deceived, or, he did what he did to humankind. That's when it happened. It wasn't God's fault. It's still our fault, people. Okay? We can't even blame Adam and Eve, because we continue to do the same thing. If we're not living for Jesus, we're continuing to do the same thing. We're listening to Satan. We want to be like God. We're not accepting reality. Reality means we're going to get sick. We're going to die. Reality is also that God has given us a wonderful immune system and a wonderful healing system. Not this, popping pills. We just have forgotten all the wonderful things that he has given us in nature to heal. I just saw a video on vitamin D and how important vitamin D is. You need to do that. Do some research on how important vitamin D is for the immune system and our body and our health. Oh no, God has given us wonderful things. He knew exactly how to keep our body healthy. No, we don't need pharmakia, people, to keep our body healthy. If we do that, we're eating from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. That's what we're doing. We're saying, oh, wait a minute, God didn't tell us right, he's a liar. And, oh, we could be like God. We can live forever. We're just doing it right. Coming to an end. People, don't be part of this mass psychosis. Be part of the solution. See reality head on and think about how we are going to deal with it. And we can only deal with it by following Jesus. It's the only way. Okay? It's the only way. Always let the Holy Spirit guide you.